guys, this is Dipti and welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video. Today's video is all about preparing my weekly meal plan and then prepping food or meal components for those meals that I have planned for the week. This week I did not step out for any grocery shopping. Instead, I shopped my refrigerator, freezer and pantry. What I also like to do is I like to double or triple certain meal components like sauces or parathas or rotis and use some of it in the current week for our current week's meal plan and then portion out and freeze the others for later. So let me show you what I have come up for this week. Breakfasts are simple cereal and milk, bagels and cream cheese, pancakes and syrup, that kind of stuff. Dinners are quick and easy to make, meals like noodles or sandwiches, pastas and burgers. For lunches, this week we are eating mostly traditional Indian meals like sabjis and dals and rotis and rice. So that is what I have planned for this week. I started my meal prep by making the dough for methi parathas. I measured out about 4 cups of whole wheat flour or atta, to which I added about 4 teaspoons of olive oil, added maybe a teaspoon or teaspoon and a half of pink Himalayan salt, about 2 teaspoons of ground turmeric, about 2 teaspoons of red chili powder, about 2 teaspoons of caraway seeds or ajwain. Then I finely chopped few green chilies and added it to the whole wheat flour as well. I also added about 2 heaping teaspoons of ginger paste, and finally the star ingredient, which were the fenugreek leaves or the methi leaves. Usually I chop the methi leaves before adding them to the to the flour, but today I just decided to skip that step and add them whole instead. These leaves I had picked on methi leaves a couple days ago when I was watching some YouTube videos, and this really saved me a good amount of time today. So what I did was then added about maybe 2 cups of water and kneaded the flour to make the dough. Once the dough was ready, I oiled it and kept it aside to rest for maybe about 40 or so minutes before rolling it. After preparing the dough for methi paratha, I started preparing my all-purpose curry base or basic masala sauce. This recipe makes about 6 half-cup portions, and I'm planning to use 2 half-cup portions for the 2 curries that I have planned towards the end of the week. I'm going to freeze this sauce in portions and take it out as needed when I'm ready to prepare my curries. So I started making the sauce by chopping 3 jumbo sized onions, the ones that you get at Costco. I peel the skin off and chop the root ends and the tops and roughly chop the onions and place them in a bowl of cold water. I recently found out, I think from Chef RB's YouTube video, that soaking raw onions in water removes that pungent raw oniony taste and also gives a mild sweetness to the curry once they are cooked. So since then I've been preparing onions in that fashion. So what I did was, chop the onions roughly and place them in this bowl of water. I rinsed the onion couple of times with cold water and drained off all the water. The next thing to do was to add the tomatoes. I prefer to use crushed tomatoes. Before doing that, I had to tackle this huge 7-pound Costco sized can of crushed tomatoes. I portioned out the tomatoes in 2 quart size canning jars and then also in a gallon sized freezer bag that I froze for later use. I don't have a particular recipe for making this masala. The general guidelines I follow are add tomatoes to onions and then followed by oil and different spices. I like to add ginger paste, garlic paste and dry spices like turmeric powder, red chili powder, cumin seeds, coriander powder, and I also love to add coriander stems. Typically the stems get discarded, but I think that the stems do have a mild coriander flavor, so I make it a point to add them to all the gravies that I make. Generous seasoning of salt, and then pressure cook it maybe for about 4 or 5 whistles. While the masala mixture was getting cooked, I started preparing parathas. Guys, what I have found is that if I roll the dough into a log shape and then cut it in half, and then each half I quarter it further, and then I get equal shaped balls. So doing this procedure, I got 16 roughly equal shaped paratha dough balls, and then I started making the parathas. My original plan was to cook the parathas and then freeze them, but at the last minute I just decided to roll them out and freeze them raw. So I stacked the parathas, the raw parathas, on top of each other, and I placed a plastic sheet square between each of the parathas. I made these plastic sheet squares using the leftover empty cereal bags. By the time I was halfway through making the parathas, it was time for the pressure cooked masala to be pureed. I made sure that the pressure had released naturally and completely before opening the lid of the pressure pan. Then using a handheld blender, I thoroughly blended the masala to almost a silken smooth consistency. Then started reducing it even further. I started preparing the remaining parathas, and as I started making them, I started stacking them and putting it in a container, only to realize that it's not going to, everything is not going to fit in. And then I transferred the entire pile of parathas from the container to a Ziploc bag and froze it in the freezer. I started preparing the veggies. So I tackled the small head of cabbage. Once that was done, I placed the shredded cabbage in a container lined with paper towel. Then I started tackling the small wedge of pumpkin. So I removed the outer rind, and there were a few mushy spots, so I chopped them off and cut it into cubes as uniformly as possible. Then I placed these chopped pumpkin into another container lined with paper towel. I thought I was done prepping the veggies for this week, only to realize that there was this big giant Costco sized onion sitting on my counter staring at me. Without wasting any more time, I quickly tackled it as well. I peeled, chopped, and put it in its container. Dinner time was upon us, and I was ready to bake the dinner rolls, which I had defrosted before starting today's meal prep. I had prepared and frozen these rolls a couple weeks earlier, and now that they were defrosted and had had their second rise, they were ready to go in a preheated oven for baking. While the bread was baking in the oven, I went to see how my masala was doing. As you can see, my pressure pan and stove are a hot mess, but the masala looked really good. It had reduced to the perfect consistency that I was looking for. Once it cools, it will reduce even further, so I was happy with the state that it was in, but not very happy with the state of my stove and the grate. So I spent some time cleaning it up, making it neat and tidy before proceeding to make the potato mixture for our dabeli. I followed the instructions on the back of the dabeli masala box to make this potato mixture. I continued to mix and mash the potato mixture till it reached the desired consistency, and then did a final taste test. Then I gathered the potato mixture along with the different toppings and the freshly baked bread rolls for assembling the dabeli together. The bread rolls were just perfectly baked. They were soft as pillow and I could have eaten them just by themselves, but I had to make dabeli out of them. So anyways, I assembled the dabeli as quickly as I could because the kids were really hungry and they were just waiting for me to get the dabelis on the plate. By the time our dinner was done, the masala had cooled completely. I portioned out about half a cup of masala in silicone ice cube trays and muffin containers, tapping them in between few times to remove any air pockets. After scraping all the last precious bits and drops of masala from the pan into these ice cube trays, I transferred them into the freezer. By this time, I had checked off almost all of the items on my list, only to realize that, well, not all had been done. I still had to make chocolate chip pancakes and I had to roast semolina. So I started with making the chocolate chip pancakes. To make these, I used the Kodiak Cakes brand pancake mix. I bought it from Costco and you will always find this particular pancake mix brand in my pantry. This is my go-to brand and my kids love pancakes made from this particular mix. So anyways, what I did was I emptied 1 pack of the mix, which is about 5 cups, into a large measuring cup, added eggs, milk and mixed everything to make a batter. My boys like pancake on the thicker side, so I add a little bit less milk water to it. Anyways, I had my electric griddle heating at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and as soon as I was done preparing the mixture, I started making the pancakes. You know what, initially I poured directly from the measuring cup, but ended up making, pancakes twice the usual size. So then when the first round of pancake was done, I used a cookie scoop to drop the batter on the griddle. I dotted each pancake with chocolate chips, semi-sweet chocolate chips, before flipping. And as soon as the pancakes started coming off the griddle, I placed them on a cooling rack. Once the pancakes were cool enough to touch, I transferred them onto a plate and into a freezer for flash freezing. With pancakes out of the way, I started on the last task of my meal prep list. I was really excited to get semolina roasted so that I could go and check off my meal prep list and have those beautiful check marks against the things that I had to do. Anyway, I digress. So what I did was I roasted about 2 cups of semolina in about 2 tablespoons of homemade ghee. on low medium heat. I continuously mixed and stirred the semolina until it turned golden brown in color, a very light golden brown, not like a deep golden brown, a very light golden brown color, and it became fragrant. It took me about 7 minutes to roast 2 cups of semolina, and I'm planning to use this semolina for making pan fried appe, which is one of my husband's favorite savory snack slash breakfast meal to eat. My kids are not big fan of appe, but they do eat it. So while all the food prep on my meal prep to-do list was done, two small tasks were still remaining that I had to push for the next day, namely because the food was still warm and I couldn't really transfer it into the Ziploc containers. So the first one was the masala cubes. The masala had not frozen completely, so I couldn't take those ice cubes out from the tray. I couldn't take the masala cubes out from the tray and put it in the Ziploc bag. So I decided to do that the next day, and so was the case with semolina. Semolina was still warm, and I didn't want to take the chance of transferring it and then having some condensation going around in the container. So I decided to wait instead and do it the next day. The last thing to do before calling it a day was to clean the kitchen and get the dishwasher running. It didn't take me long time to load the dishes and clean the kitchen, because as I was meal prepping, I was doing the cleaning work at the same time. So I was moving the dishes from the sink to the dishwasher, or hand washing certain big dishes that were not going to fit in the dishwasher. I was doing all of this as I was meal prepping. I was cleaning the counters, wiping off the stove, and getting all that work done so that I had less amount of work to do towards the end of the day. So this made it very easy for me to finish up the cleaning. I just quickly swept the floors and mopped them as well, and called it a day. As soon as I woke up, I transferred semolina into its own container, and then I uncubed the masala. It took all about 5 minutes or maybe 10 minutes to do the transferring and moving everything back to the freezer for the upcoming week's use. So let's take a quick look at what are all the things that I made. I made the methi parathas and froze them. I made the basic masala. It's about half a cup portion. Then I chopped the veggies, pumpkin and cabbage, and I last minute decided to add an onion. Got that done. I have the roasted semolina ready for the upcoming week. Then I have frozen crushed tomatoes, that I portioned from the big jumbo giant can. And finally the pancakes. Made about 18 pancakes in all, and all were ready to go for the next week. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching this video. If you like this video, do give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Make sure to press the bell notification so that you get updated as to when I post the new video. I hope to see you around. Take care. Bye.